Righto, so welcome back to part 2 of this video of my composition and how I edit the photos that I put up on Instagram, social media, and for printing purposes. So I'll just upload this photo into Photoshop. So there are a few photos that I chose, there are a few photos that I captured from the drone. So there's one there, there's one there, a few different compositions there, there's that there, a little bit of a different one there, a little bit closer, a bit of a zoomed in, and a few of those ones there. Now the one that I decided to choose that I wanted to edit was this one here, so I will drag that into my Photoshop window. And we will start working on it. So I chose this photo just due to the fact that I just really like the composition of this scrubbery in here, this bushland in here. There's a little tiny hut here. I really like the way that this dam wall breaks up the composition between all this water here and the bushland here. Now the other thing that I liked about this photo compared to the one was a little bit earlier. So if I go here, so this is the one that I'm editing. Now the one that I took a little bit earlier, you can see the dam wall in through here. So the difference with this one is it's over the top and you sort of, the edge of the dam wall is hidden, and I just really like that composition. So this is the one that I'm going to edit. Now I'm just going to zoom this into 20%, just so it's a full screen. And we'll get underway at editing. So the first thing I like to do is my curve. So this is contrast sort of curve, and I usually work on a bit of an S curve with all of my images. So I'll just take the highlights up a little bit there, and I do like the contrast to be a little bit darker in my images. Now obviously when you're working and when you're editing, it is all a personal preference, and most people do see color differently. Not everyone has the same sort of color image in the way that they view an image, and that's why some people's photos that you'll look at will be a lot more vibrant, a lot more saturated than others. It's just the way that we view color individually. So the next thing I'll do is I will add a little bit of saturation to the image. Now I try and work on about a 15 saturation, and the vibrance I'll probably do to about 10 for this image. Again, like I said, it's all a bit of a personal preference. So I do like the greens popping in the trees and the bushland here, and obviously the water not yet is popping just yet, but we can work on that. The other thing I like to work on is the brightness and the contrast. Now I do like just add a touch of brightness back in, and I do like my images contrasty, so I'll add about a 10 contrast into this image. Now that's about as far as I go. So now what I'm going to do is the next step I work on is, so on an image like this, I'm going to copy this layer, duplicate layer. I'm going to call this the water side. And so we've got two different layers. So what we'll do now is this water side, I'm going to add a photo filter that is fairly cool, and that is going to pop the water. Now as you can see, it's created this water filter across the whole image, the trees and the water. So I'm just going to find a filter that I like. Could be the deep blue, that's not enough. Cooling filter, I do like that one. Okay, so we'll go with the cooling filter 82. Now, how we get the the color back into here is what we'll do is we'll actually just get our eraser tool, and if we erase, whoop, I went over the edge there, just got to be really careful. If we erase the filter from this side of the image, nice and carefully, this will put the color back in the trees. So I'll just quickly do this. And that's how we do that. As you can see, the photo filter down in this corner. The filter is on this side, not on this side. So now what I'm going to do is, down in the background, I'm going to duplicate the layer again. And I will call this trees. And what we'll do on the tree side is we will put a photo filter, but we'll put a warming filter. A little bit warmer, maybe there. There we go. So that is a little bit warmer. So now we're just going to make this just a little bit bigger, just to make this job a little bit easier. So what we'll do is we will erase the warming filter off the water side, so that way this water pops again with that nice bright blue that we added from before. Righto. So we've so if we just turn all these off, you can see where we're up to at the moment. So that's the original image. And now with all these filters coming back on, you can see where we're sort of up to. Now I kind of like where we're up to with that now. I don't think I need to go any further. So the next thing I like to do is add a border. Now I do that in Photoshop. I just add a rectangle. So I will do a rectangle from this top corner all the way to the bottom corner, and you can see how Photoshop will add. Let me just do that again. I don't think that worked perfectly. You can see Photoshop will put the crosshairs in the middle of the screen. There we go. Okay, now this is obviously going to be white, so I need to change this to black. I need to make it so that it's not a solid rectangle, it's a border rectangle, and I do like to make this a 30-point rectangle. Okay, so that's black. I actually don't mind that. You can change the color to whatever you want, but I really like the black. I think that just sort of makes that image pop. So next is the text. I've just got to go down to the background, and I've got to add this on the background. So I do drone Tasmania. I do a space and then a colon. And then I will do photography. So I will do 72 point. I will make it white. Now I can get this central. And again, with Photoshop, there are a lot of little tips and hints on the screen to make sure that that is absolutely central. And we will put that right there. Now the last thing that I will do is I will add my watermark. So I've got my watermark preloaded into here, which is all set to go, and that's ready to go. So Mark Allen is my personal watermark, and if I just add that there, right in that Y, that's how I add my Mark Allen signature watermark. So that's let me just save that. So that's where we're up to. And that image is completely edited. I'm going to save this image now as a JPEG. I'm going to save that back into there. 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 I'm going to save Okay, this is absolutely maximum. So now that we go into our folder, we will find the difference after this edit. So this is the before, and this is the after. So it's got the watermark, it's nice and vibrant. Obviously there's a huge difference, saturation, color and imagery. So the next thing I do is I actually just open my Dropbox, and I will actually just add that photo into the Dropbox folder, which I will just grab off my phone and I'll upload to Instagram. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I hope that gave you a little bit of an insight into how I edit and how I sort of compose the shots. Catch me on Instagram. As I said, this will be up within the next 10 or 15 minutes. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.